Hey folks, this is BKP Team FYN Sports, and we're over here today in White County, and we're with White County Warriors head coach Tim Coakley. This is your third season here, Coach, right?
Yep, sure is.
All right, so it's our first week of full-out practice. How's it going? Let's start there.
Yeah, we've been practicing and working pretty hard since the 1st of January, so it's going well. You know, we've been lifting, and our guys are just itching to get out there and put some pads on when we can. So we're excited about our team, and White County's a fun place to be in the fall, so it's really looking good.
Well, I know what you're saying there. You're doing a lot of work in the weight room and camps and stuff like that throughout, several parts of the year. But like this week started the full-out practices. You graduated, and let me start there. You graduated 2021 seniors. The guys as stepping up this year. What kind of group do you have coming back? That's a big number. What's the roster look like? And let's talk about some of the guys that are stepping up this year as the seniors.
Well, our quarterback returns, and he's going to be a junior, and there's always that argument between experience and between talent, right? And Og Mandino, who's a writer, said experience is wasted on dead men. So I don't know that it matters how many seniors you gain or lose. I think it matters how much experience, playing time you gain or lose. And certainly offensively, most of our guys returned. Defensively, our 3 linebackers returned. So we feel good about our team. I think we're finally better. We're finally competitive in all 3 phases. And we are expecting great things this year.
Well, let me ask you, it's your third year. When you come in and start working with a team, you're starting to look at now sophomores that are seniors, that when you got here. Young guys that, first day 3 years ago, you're trying to get these guys to buy into what you're running. You're up to, this team is really yours that you've been working on for 2 or 3 years. Where are you at in your plans with the White County Warriors as far as this talent pool that you got coming through?
Well, I think offensively, frankly, we're there. I mean, defense is always ahead of the offense, but in our situation, I think it's reversed. We've been running the same thing since I got here. We have some guys now coming through the program that have familiarity, understand what to do. Defensively, we've changed the last couple of years. I think most teams are in that mode. We see a lot of things offensively now we didn't see 10 years ago. Everybody's multiple, and everybody's running a lot of plays. So therefore, we don't play many 7 to 6 games anymore. There's a lot of 28 to 20 games, 35 to 28 games because of the tempo. So we felt it necessary to install what we wanted to do offensively. This is our team's 3rd year in the same offense. That should lead or lend itself to good play, especially if you have a returning quarterback like we do. So I think that's what gives us some excitement and enthusiasm about the 2019 season.
Talk a little bit about your region, 4A Region 7, correct?
Right.
A little bit about the region. Every year, and when I say 3A and 4A, my thought just following high school football when 2, 3, and 4 is you're still in rural counties, and a lot of the teams returning the same talent pool. I'll just put it like that because when you get into rural counties, what are some of the changes you see in the region? Some of the teams you're going to be facing this year that you think are going to be more of a challenge, or whatever the case may be.
But in this demographic, we have 5 natural rivalries. Okay, we have Lumpkin, which is a natural rivalry. We have Habersham, North Hall, Chestatee, and West Hall. 2 years ago, we were 5-0 against our 5 rivals. Last year, we were 3-2, and our 2 losses we should have won. Up 20 to nothing a half, up 12 to nothing a half. So that's where we start with what we do here and how we're going to gauge or compare our team. We compare it to our natural rivals, teams that we always play. Then our region extends out to be in Flowery Branch, Marist, Blessed Trinity, and those guys. So those teams are tougher. They're inside the Beltway or whatever the loop we call it. They have really good players, and that's where we need to improve on. We think we've been playing well in the mountains. We need to play well everywhere, and we've worked hard at that in the off season and doing things that will help that.
Let me ask you this, and let's say for Team FYN Sports, I've been on sideline several of your games. We have not been able to follow your team day in and day out. We have a young reporter. What's the gentleman's name?
Carson Finley.
Carson Finley is going to be on your sideline every Friday night now. So we're happy to be able to add you guys on as every Friday night we're going to have a reporter on the sideline. So saying that, I don't really know your team, your staff that well. Tell us a little bit about your coaching staff over the 3 years. Same group of guys, new guys you got coming in. Who's doing what, and how's that going?
Well, my offensive coordinator is Chad Bennett. He came here from Raven, and went to Raven from Flower Branch with Coach Shaw. He runs the whole show offensively. I'm an offensive coordinator from days gone by. I'm going to run the defense with Coach Logan Head and some other guys. So our offense has been in the same thing for 3 years. Coach Bennett, his staff, has been coaching that same thing for 3 years. He's got 5 assistant coaches on his side of the ball. Coach Browning, Coach Burgess, Coach Riddle, Coach Lowry, who played here, and Coach Dorsey. Those guys coach the offense. And then coaching for me, Coach Head, Coach Versluis, Coach Fowl, and Coach Monday will coach with me on defense. And then we'll expand out from there. Certainly defensively, we gave up a lot last year. I just think they're hard. It's a hard way to gauge defense when you're gauging it against a lot of no huddle, a lot of high tempo teams. So that's where we really need to improve. We need to do better defensively, but we have a lot of continuity on our offensive side of the ball with Coach Bennett and his guys.
Let me ask you this. You know, when I talk about the seniors graduating, and I want to hear it from you. I always come up. I watch a lot of teams in practice, and you see the juniors that have stepped up, that are they're now leaders on the field, and it's a testament to the seniors that are gone that they brought them up. I know it's hard not to leave people out, but can you highlight a couple of the players in some of the skill positions and or frontline defense that just have come back this year that you're really seeing something you're excited in?
Well, we certainly have some college players. I think we had 7 or 8 go off to play college football from our last year's team. We have on our team a unity council. We have 2 players in each grade that we think excel in the classroom, in the weight room, and on the field. It's kind of our mission statement. Those 2 players as seniors would be Nick Burkett and Jacob Anderson. They're exemplary guys. They go to school like they're supposed to. They do their homework, but they're also really good players. Nick's is our starting safety. Jacob is our starting center and nose guard. Jacob's a college player. Our juniors is our quarterback, J. Ben Haynes, and also on that unity council with him is a guy named Reese Dockery. Reese plays outside linebacker and he plays slot receiver, and J. Ben Haynes is our quarterback. He's a returning all-state player, our quarterback. He threw for, I think, over 1,500 yards as a freshman and about the same thing as a sophomore. So those are guys we're looking for great things out of, but I think what's going to make our team go or not go is all 3 of my linebackers defensively are returning. You have Corey Izzard, who plays inside linebacker, Greg Weimer, who plays linebacker, and Jared Julia. Having all of our linebackers back, I think, is going to really improve where we need to improve, and that's defensively.
Just a couple more quick questions. Between now and August 15th, when you travel over to Stevens County, what's on the calendar for the team? 7-on-7s. What are you guys working on? What's on the calendar between now and your first game?
Well,
it's over. Well, it's right over. Just take a look. There it is. But
well, here's what we've decided to do philosophically. We played a lot in June, 7-on-7. I mean, who knows? 30 games when you count 4 games in one day.
Right.
And so in July, we're not doing that. We're getting our team ready to play. What we do for Stevens, last year we were kind of vanilla. It's an important game to our kids because they know all those guys. We always try to win, but more so, we've got some things we have to decide after that game, and the only way we'll be able to decide it is by seeing guys play in positions that they didn't play in last year. So that's the way we're heading. Certainly, if we're not ready throwing the ball by now after the June we had, we'll never be ready. But that's how we're kind of pointing our attention towards Stevens, which is just getting some guys ready to play who didn't play last year.
well, you know, I haven't looked in depth, but that's Coach Wesley Tankersley, and he's been over there now a couple of years, and he's also in a position where he's building that program up. And I'm not going to say they haven't been, but they're very competitive. So that's a pretty tough opening first game, and then you go over to Lumpkin. You got a new coach over at Lumpkin. Last year ran the wing and just ran the football straight up the middle. I mean, if no matter how much time there was, they ran the football at the middle. I think the new coach is going to spread it out a little bit. What are some of the things you're seeing there for that second game?
We've run into them in June, but passing league's just a hard gauge. High school, we really depend on our guys up front making a difference. It's not a wash like it is at a lot of levels. So we'll see. They were certainly spread in passing league. We've been playing them a very long time, which means our kids like to get up for those kind of games. But I really respect what they're doing. They certainly have great facilities, and I think they've made a strong commitment to football there by who they've brought in and how they've raised their expectations. But that game's always a good game. White County and Lumpkin's been a good game for a long time. So we're really looking forward to it, looking forward to the new things that they bring.
How was recruiting this year? I know a lot of times when coaches come in, and this is your third year, it takes a couple years for maybe some of the kids to start coming out for football and strengthening the roster. How is recruiting this year?
Well, I think what I have decided or determined here is that we're always going to hang around 80 to 85 players, which is a good number for our school. We're a rural 4A school. Really we have 3 numbers. So we get 80 to 85 out. I think that our coaches are doing a good job getting the guys that can play out to the field. And then, being in Atlanta as I was and being in Tallahassee for 16 years, what's different here about those areas is guys don't transfer into our school and they don't transfer out of our school.
Right.
So I really have more peace here, okay, because it seems like in the metropolis or whatever you call it, people are moving everywhere. And that's not a life that I really like or prefer. So it's really fun here knowing that we can start with those guys when they're freshmen and build them for now the third year and still have them and not have people hounding them, are able to be around them a lot. Because I think if somebody puts in a system that's worth anything, it takes about a year to get used to what's going on. I'm a quirky guy. I do things different than everybody else, and I'm sure others do things different. So it takes time. And so I really like where we are with our numbers, where we are with getting players from other sports to join football, and where we are in representing our school. So 80, 85, right now we have 83 on our current roster, and that seems about like what it's going to be.
Coach, I appreciate you taking the time. We look forward to Team FYN Sports being on the sideline on Friday night. We appreciate you, and hey, we look forward to Warrior football this year.
Anytime, whatever we can do for you.